The regular recommended daily dose of funny is just not enough. Thankfully, we have extra funny with TJ and Riggins.
Lindsay, it kind of defeats the purpose when you post pictures telling your parents happy anniversary and you're wishing them well and all of that stuff. It defeats the purpose for you then to go back and make fun of the way they looked in their picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
what year was that they got married?
1975. They were 19. The pictures are just horrific, and it's not them necessarily. Like, they were looking at the camera and smiling. My dad didn't really smile, but the family members, no one in their family looked at the camera. I'm like, what? Where'd you think the camera was? Like, my grandfather's, her dad is like looking up, like one of them's looking down. I'm like, did they not say like, okay, look at the camera? I mean, it's common sense.
Yeah,
it's horrendous. Not to mention, my dad, when you get married, they do the shaving cream on the car, which I feel like should be bad for the paint. I'm not sure. But anyway, he had one of those old, what do you call them?
A Volkswagen Bug. Beetle.
We always called them punch bugs because, anyway. With like the biggest Reagan sticker on the windshield and that's what they got in to leave and I'm like, could we have rented a car like without so many bumper stickers? It was just.
But I mean, that was what year was it? 70 what?
5.
Okay, so yeah, that was when Reagan was breaking onto the scene. He wasn't even elected president until 1980. He was governor of California before that and all. But your dad was on board with Reagan. From the beginning. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is strange. I just assumed he was president.
Well, I could go into the whole political history of it and everything, but he was, that was big time for him to already be on with Reagan.
Yeah. Well, and at that time, 19, he was on the radio, as you know. So he wasn't even in law enforcement. So he must have just been keeping up with the stuff. But
but the 70s, as far as fashion and everything, was probably the worst. I mean,
he said, "This is a sweet suit." I was like, who? It was like brown plaid. Who?
That's like whenever stuff comes back in style from the 80s or the 90s, it's a little different than when it comes back from the 70s. Like, and you notice the 70s, it doesn't make much of a reoccurrence in fashion. It doesn't come back around very often.
No.
Stuff from the 70s. It was awful. Those big giant collars and those big platform shoes and those bell bottoms and stuff like that. It was just nasty.
And I remember when I was getting married, my mom said, "Now, do you want to look at my wedding dress?" I was like, I think we're good here.
What, to wear it?
Yeah. Because, that's sweet and it was precious, but it's also not precious. You know what I mean?
Well, she'd have gone and pulled it out and it would have been just like some mini skirt dress or some kind of slutty looking wedding dress.
Instead, the total opposite. Full neck, full sleeve, just the whole shebang. Taffeta, I think they called it.
That is cool if you can get, it works currently if your mom's wedding or your grandmother's.
Yeah.
I don't know how often it does.
I don't know. I think we were the same size. She might have been smaller than me, but it wasn't cute. I would have chopped it up, and then that would have been sad, and
defeat the purpose.
Yeah,
except saving you money.
Well, true. I would have spent $1 million not to wear that. But it was cool back then. I mean, that was their thing,
Jody rented her dress.
Yeah,
for our wedding.
That's a good idea.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't care anything about having a dress. She said, I'm never going to wear that again. Why would I want to,
Exactly.
So, and that was back when people got married young enough for their, the tradition being their parents, the bride's parents paying for the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now a lot of times that doesn't happen because people wait so long to get married. Like you got a 40-year-old get married, you're gonna go to mom and dad to pay for it.
That's true.
Still gotta put. I told you what my mom did with her wedding dress. She was like, after she realized that neither of her daughters-in-law were gonna wear it to their wedding, and it was kind of the same thing, long sleeves and I think a high neck. And she said, so I finally donated it to Goodwill. And the craziest thing happened the other day. I was driving to the grocery store, and I passed the Goodwill, and they had it up on the mannequin in the window. And she said, and I just burst into tears.
Oh, I love that, though.
I said, well, if it was so outdated, why would they put it on the mannequin? And she goes, well, some people probably still, they don't care. They're not as picky about
Well, and some people might make it their own. That is so sweet.
Yeah, she said she just burst
I love
Tears seeing
that. I love that.
Yeah, I can't imagine it was good looking.
But think about, the tuxedos back then too in the 70s with those ruffles and the
Ruffles.
big collars and that double knit material. I mean, it was just awful.
Why were there so many ruffles?
I don't know. And then that old just straight dirty looking hair. Everybody had dirty looking hair.
My dad had almost longer hair than my mom. Sweet stash still, but
Really?
yeah. I don't know. It
Your
wasn't.
dad's a good looking man.
It wasn't a cute. It wasn't like a cute time to be alive. You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't look back at the 70s and go, man, that was so like when my daughter looks back at pictures of Jody when she was young, like when we first got married and all of that, she go, "Oh, Mom, I want that outfit that you're wearing in this picture." And hell, she wears, like I told you, she wears a lot of my clothes that, like my leather jackets and stuff that just kind of hang off of her. I guess that's a style for young girls. Oh God, that reminds me, Riggins, did you see that thing going on the social medias the other day of Bill Belichick getting off a plane or something, and his girlfriend was walking behind him
with the jacket?
and she was wearing a Letterman looking style jacket of North Carolina, Tar Heels, hanging off of her shoulders and just walking, and it said, "If you're 72, your girlfriend does not need to wear a jacket like this, the way she's wearing this."
Yeah.
And then she's just like walking behind him. She's 24, and he was just, it looked like he was pissed.
Well,
And
he's
she
just,
was just
yeah,
like,
he looks always pissed, and he's just like this old man stomping through these UNC fans.
It looks like his daughter. I mean,
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter. Correct. Granddaughter. Because your daughter
Yeah,
is
it's-
her age.
Right.
Well, they like philosophy, so who are we to judge? They're talking about philosophy and
So what?
And the birds or something.
If he's 72, what year was he born?
gosh.
So, well, let's think about this. 40, no, let's see, 50?
Yeah, let's let Lindsay do the math here. This will be good.
I'm trying.
No, do it.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of my parents. So they were born in 56 and they're 67. So early 50s.
Okay.
Oh, you did that way quicker than I thought you were going to do.
I just had to do
I
something.
thought you were
Okay.
going to carry. Let's see.
Carry the one.
So Bill Belichick is only 2 years younger than Jody's dad.
Okay.
So Laney's the same age as his girlfriend. So that would be like Laney dating a man, one of Jody's dads, one of her grandfather's friends.
Crazy. When you put it like that, it is so disturbing. I mean, it was already disturbing, but that.
And I got news for you. Jody's dad looks younger and more spry and more with it than Bill Belichick does.
I believe that.
He's just like,
He's weathered.
yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, he's had, listen, no judgment on him being weathered. He's had good career, you know, but don't be dating somebody like that. You crazy. She's trying to get your money.
But he knows that. That's the
know.
thing. They always know.
They know.
How old should he be dating, though? I mean, if he's
70?
72, 70, he's not going to date a 70-year-old.
60s?
What do you
What?
think? Well, I'm just saying, I know 20, how old is she, 24? It looks crazy. It looks silly.
Yeah, but even 30s, 40s, 50s looks crazy. I'm 40.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I don't look. But no, you see what I'm saying?
well, that's what I'm asking. Like, what is the appropriate?
Okay, so you're saying because he's so successful and rich and everything that chances are he deserves a younger woman.
No.
Or that he would be, you would expect that he would be with a younger woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, he is so rich and everything
Yeah.
that the amount of success that he has warrants the prize of having a younger woman.
Well, that's a weird way of putting
But
it.
that's what you're saying.
No, I just want to know what would not look crazy. Because if he didn't have any money, I don't know that my opinion would change at all.
No, it doesn't matter. He looks ridiculous no matter who he is
I agree.
with this 24-year-old girl.
Totally agree.
And you know what? She looks just as ridiculous, if not more.
I think more so.
It's it's insane. And she's got a screw loose.
Yeah.
If she legitimately is in it because she thinks that she loves him, you know what? If she says, "Oh, I'm in it because he's got he's got all this money and everything. Like I was saying the other day, I think that she doesn't need the mental help if she'll just come out and admit that.
That she's crazy?
No, that if she'll admit that I'm with him because I want the money.
Right.
It
makes you
that's
sound
despicable.
sane. Right.
But at least it's understandable.
Right. You're in this world.
Right. But if you really think that this is your man and he's your, the love of your life or whatever, and he's 72 and you're going through that charade and you really believe it, then you need help. Mm-hmm. You need somebody to talk to. Your family needs to encourage you to go get help.
I actually totally agree. And people are, making fun of him, but what 72-year-old man is turning down a hot 20? I mean, I see that he's.
I wouldn't. I would turn it down. Because
you're not
in the bottom,
70.
I know, but if at my age,
Oh yeah.
I'm 55,
Right.
And if some 24-year-old wanted me to be her boyfriend,
Yeah.
I would not do it.
But could you be like if you're like an old single man? I know it's hard to put yourself there, and you've, let's say, had some dry spells. You're not just, and this girl just flings herself on you. And she's hot. I don't know. Something's wrong with her. That's what I'm getting at.
But the thing is that there's no way. And when I was younger, I would be I could see this whole thing as, oh yeah, he's good for him, whatever. But there is no way that there is a connection between the two of them that would warrant being in an exclusive, loving, dedicated relationship.
Right.
It's terrible.
You're saying it could be purely sexual and that's it. Like,
Yeah, if she said it's for the money and he said it's for the sex, then I wouldn't think that they're so
crazy,
disturbing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
But I know is considered one of the most brilliant people to ever be involved in sports. But to walk around, if he's under the illusion that this girl is really in love with him for who he is and his mind and his heart, then he needs help.
yeah.
I think you're underestimating the power of philosophy.
Here's a power of
The power of airplane philosophy.
I think, when you match with somebody that it's on the same philosophical wavelength.
He ain't saying nothing. I can tell you he's not saying anything. He can barely walk. Is he really?
You think she's more versed in philosophy than he is?
I don't think philosophy was a part of it. I think they're bullshit.
But I do think that he's probably super intelligent in many, many subjects because he has to deal in psychology and he has to deal in motivational techniques and all of these other things. So I'm sure he has, his share of philosophical scholars under his belt that he's studied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
she's like, I'm not like all these other whores you're dating.
Right.
I know philosophy.
Yep. Philosophy of fashion.
And she's walking behind him in this video that it just looks like, oh my God, Dad.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Slow
And
down.
he's all hunched over and he's stomping through with his arms. He looks like a gorilla. And she's like, with her jacket over her shoulder. It's hysterical.
So weird.
It's funny. Yeah.
Maybe he feels sorry for her and she's had some family stuff. She doesn't have money and he just wants to leave her. He just wants to take care of her. Maybe that's
when
it.
she starts putting out press releases about him not going anywhere, you got to be like, what have I done?
Yeah,
what have I done?
We are thrilled to be here in North Carolina.
He's like, here, Belle, let me get on your IG real quick and post this on your story.
Here, Belle.
More extra funny next.
Greg Nog time.
What you doing there, Greg?
Oh, hey, Katie. I'm making my world famous Greg Nog.
Well, if it's so world famous, how come I don't know about it?
There's a lot you don't know about me. Like how I just ordered truckloads of our most popular items at Sweet Dreams.
You did what?
Shh.
Right now, get a copper pillow top mattress starting at just $449. In stock and ready to rock. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
It's now easier than ever at the homepage, tjriggins.com. Oh, look, our new subscribe button, where you can make sure you're getting the new shows right when they're posted. Find listening options for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, social media sites, and more. Add it to your phone's home screen today.
When it comes to all things real estate, especially in the Lake Norman area, there is no one better than the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. We've used them for years. They're our friends, and you are going to love them. Just go to tjriggins.com/Temple Team. tjriggins.com/Temple Team.
Welcome to Extra Funny with TJ and Riggins.
So we're looking through some pictures of Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan. And this is what, to me, always makes the old man look bad in these situations. You never see whether it's the woman is older or the guy is older, you never see the younger person trying to act more of the older person's age in the relationship. You always see it the other way, which makes it look ridiculous. When 72-year-old Bill Belichick is out taking pictures for Instagram and he's wearing a costume, this one that they just put, that I just looked at, showed everybody from an article in People magazine or people.com. He's dressed up as a fisherman on the beach with rubber boots and a big yellow fisherman's jacket and a fisherman's hat. And she is on the beach, sprawled out in a mermaid costume, and he's acting like he just caught her.
You're so right, though. Never is she quilting next to him, sitting on the couch. I mean, it's never.
She's like never describe. Never do you see the younger person in the relationship. Like for me, that's what I always say because, I always say that if Jody and I split up, then there's no way I'm going for a younger woman. I'd go the other way, and I would want an 80-something-year-old woman to be more my speed. Mm-hmm. And I would be, going to bed at 5 o'clock every day and eating dinner at 4:30 and putting up preserves on the weekends and things like that. Mm-hmm. But you don't ever see that.
Never. They always look so dumb.
That'd be like if I'm dating an 80-something-year-old woman, and then she's doing all of the fun young things that I do, like watching crime documentaries and
fun stuff
and other TV shows and going to bed early. And,
Wait a second. It's sounding all too familiar. But that would be like an 80-year-old woman doing a TikTok dance. I mean, not in you don't do that, but I'm saying, yeah, I hate that.
So picture your weekend with your couple friends. Where did y'all just go? Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Y'all were in Miami.
Yes.
Now picture Kyle being, let's see, how much older, how many years between, like 72 minus 24 is what?
52?
Is that?
Wait.
72 minus 24. I'm not good with the math. So how much older is Bill Belichick than his girlfriend? So imagine your
50 years.
husband being that much older than you. So you're 40.
Yeah.
So let's say he's 30 years older than you are.
Yeah.
And hanging out with you and your same age couple friends at the beach or at the Fountain Blue.
No, I honestly can't even picture, and they're 50 years apart. Mm-hmm. I can't even picture 20 years apart.
He's like, spray me with sunscreen
because
before I get out in the sun.
Think about this.
Come here, baby.
I'm 40. Let's say Kyle's 60. Mm-hmm. And my parents are not much older than 60. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. So much less a 50-year age gap.
Yeah, what's 50 years?
50. It is 50, right? Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's roughly, whatever.
Roughly, yeah.
So
52, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think it's great. 50, was he 90?
Yeah, if you had a 50-year-old, he'd be 90.
Let's go hit the clubs in Miami. David Guetta's performing.
And I picture Lindsay's old ass husband wearing those sunglasses that Kyle had on in Miami.
Yeah, the 80s glasses. Yeah.
Looking like a clown.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, or I'd be wheeling him in a wheelchair through the Fountain Blue.
Yeah. So Kyle, 48 years older than you are, would be 88. He's 88.
You imagine? I got to go do my podcast now, honey. And he's like, "What? Is that like the radio?
Is that like AM?"
Oh, I miss those old radio westerns.
Like the Lonesome Dove.
But he wouldn't be like that. He'd be like, "Okay, babe. Go ahead, babe. I'll be over here ready."
Yeah, you
Ready.
I got my board shorts.
Sure.
Got my visor upside down and turned to the side.
He's got like those saggy man titties out there.
God, I can't.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day here. Fountain Blue.
I'm in Miami, bitch.
I remember. What was his name? You said he used to go to the Fountain Blue. I remember Dean Martin.
Sinatra.
Sinatra.
Oh, the Rat Pack. He'll never make them like that again.
I got asked to be part of that Rat Pack.
But I mean, that's better than if he was out there trying to, be up in Kendrick Lamar and stuff at 88. Trying to act like that.
Yeah.
I always want, I ask people that. Does it look worse when you're old and trying to look younger than your age, or young and trying to be older for your age? And everybody always says it looks worse when you're old and you try to be younger. Mm-hmm. Try to pull yourself off as being younger.
I think so too. Depending on,
Now, is it the same for men and women?
It's different.
So you're saying that it's not as bad for a woman to try to act younger than she is?
Okay, I think I was thinking about looks wise. Acting, yeah. I mean, you don't want to see that mom at the club that's trying to hang out with all the,
Right,
Yeah, I think.
Even though she'd probably get a hero's welcome if she's not fat. That's basically all those frat boys. They don't care. Yeah.
That's true.
She still looks, halfway decent. Yeah. Not fat.
It's true.
Drinking cranberry and champagne up in the VIP room. They're like, "Hey, girl."
On your tab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine one of the couples that you were with in Miami, if one of those guys was married to an 88-year-old woman and she's out there trying to hang with y'all.
I'd probably find so much in common with her.
Yeah, you probably would.
You like beats too? Oh my God, me too.
Oh, you slept all day too?
Yeah.
That's why they were making fun of me to begin with. I am that 88-year-old.
I mean, it's got to be so hard though you got to kind of be a loner couple. You just have each other. Because I mean, who are you gonna hang out with his friends and fit in, or her friends and fit in? Neither one.
You talking about Bill and
Jordan?
Yeah, she's probably not hanging out with her old friends anymore.
No.
She's got a whole different circle.
I mean, what circle are they in?
They're in whoever Bill brings to the party. I think she's not talking to any of her friends, probably not even her parents.
She's
at this
too
point.
good for them.
Maybe,
at this point.
But I think I'd be freaked out too. I'd be like, I think he's bringing her into his life rather than him into her life.
I mean, as a parent, I would cry over this for the rest of my life. If Delilah,
She came in and she's 24 and she's hitched her wagon to a 72-year-old man.
If she hitched her wagon to anyone over a normal age for her, I mean, I would be devastated. I remember going on a date with, let me think how old I was. I was in my 20s. He was 35. I was maybe 27 or 28, and my parents were so upset about it.
Yeah.
I remember my mom saying, you're not going to have anything. And I don't know why I can't remember how I have to think back, but even that little of an age gap, it was a big enough age gap to where.
Was that when we knew? Were you working with us then?
Yeah. I went on a blind date with him. Y'all knew the story. You probably forgot, but he was cute. He just, Yeah, and still, my parents were upset about it.
Wow.
Maybe I was young. Maybe I was 26. He was 30. I don't. It was a big enough age gap.
Yeah, but that's not 35 and 28 or whatever that.
Maybe I was.
But when you think about it, though, I mean, that's still 7 years. It's close to 10 years difference.
Yeah, I remember them saying this isn't a good idea. And maybe I was 26.
And there's the bigger difference in a 27-year-old and a 35-year-old than there is, a 40-year-old and a 47-year-old.
Exactly.
There's a bigger difference in that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how old I got to think, but I was younger than 28. I had to have been. But anyway.
I'm trying to think when I was 35, though, if I would have had anything in common with a 26-year-old cheerleader, which is what you were.
Right. I actually do. I think I was 26 because I remember them saying you're almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was nothing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was one day. But I remember thinking,
because when I was 35, I had 20-something-year-old professional cheerleaders lined up waiting to go out with me. And I just, I would have to just break the news to them. I'm sorry, I'm married.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm married to an old-ass woman my age in her 30s. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't care a thing about philosophy.
Nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing.
My philosophy is shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch my show.
That's my philosophy. Yeah.
But I freely admit, though, that I'm not a good judge of your average person my age, because I do, pretty much, I've lived like an old man since I was in my 20s.
Yep.
Because when you get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for your career, it's kind of hard to be out living the wildlife.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I've been married for so long. I've always done nothing but couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out with the fellas and hit the bars, and I've never done that.
Mm-mm.
Only reason I go out to the bars now without Jody is to retrieve her from one.
Yeah, you're going to pick her up.
We're going home.
Her ass
Get
is
in the
out
car.
there.
And her fake vomiting the whole way
Her
home.
faux vomit.
Yeah.
Shut up and just get home. Get it together.
It's extra funny with TJ and Riggins.
Our Gregory Jewelers is traveling thousands of miles to Antwerp, Belgium to buy diamonds directly from the diamond capital of the world. As a master IJO jeweler, we're going to personally pick from the incredible inventory of Antwerp's vaults to bring back the best selection and value to our customers. Let our Gregory Jewelers know your heart's desire, and we will find it in the heart of the diamond industry during our upcoming trip. Are you ready to be part of Antwerp's 500-year tradition of making diamonds sparkle? Our Gregory Jewelers is here to help make your diamond dreams come true.
It's now easier than ever at the homepage, TJRiggins.com. A TJ Riggins Prime button to get to invitations, links, and all the great Prime Plus exclusive content. Add it to your phone's home screen today.
Hey Charlotte, ready to enjoy a chef-prepared meal using delicious seasonal ingredients without ever having to leave your home? Table and Twine is the answer. Have a world-class dining experience without ever leaving your house. Learn more at tjriggins.com/tableandtwine.